Hello and welcome to this first module in HTML fundamentals, where we are going to focus on working with HTML documents. I'm Sidra and I'm going to introduce you to some of the core concepts around HTML writing documents or pages. We'll start by getting an understanding of what HTML is. How do we use it to build web pages, and then how browsers use that HTML to display those web pages to us. Along the way, we will dissect HTML documents. What are all the different parts of the document that we need to use to create that? And we will understand why we are doing that and how to help browsers to give the users the best experience when viewing our pages. Now, HTML has been around for a long time and it's aged very well. When it was first introduced, it was really about research documents and being able to share the information that researchers or educators had found out. They wanted to be able to share that with their peers. They wanted to be able to link to related research, display their data and tables, and maybe somehow graphs and pictures. But today, HTML is used to build online stores, fonts, full-blown applications, file sharing, photo sharing, big social media applications. They have very interactive interfaces and they are graphically rich. So while it started as a very text-based, link-based sort of tools, HTML has aged and it is still the core fundamental components that we use to build web pages and all different types of websites that we use. We now have more tools to make those pages richer visually and interactively, so we have more responsibilities because not everyone's going to be viewing these a big monitor on a desktop, maybe on a laptop or tablet or phone. So being able to design documents that can render properly is an important factor, and we will touch on that concept known as responsive designs. So as we go through the course, so what is HTML? Well, HTML is the markup language. That means that we are going to take the text from the research document back to the day or the product description and other information or social media comments and post, and we are going to wrap it in this markup language. And this provides additional information to the client. From now on, I will refer to that as the browser because that's the most common client for HTML to use to render the data that we have got in the document. That markup information is not displayed. It's instructions for the browsers on how to display those things. The browsers then interpret that and they render the document at the most basic level. That might be some text that we mark up to indicate that it should be rendered as paragraph, or it may be a part of the page, and we will indicate that it needs to have a background image. There are a few terms that I'm going to be used as we will talk about HTML that I want to make sure are clear, upfront, and well defined. First, HTML itself stands for Hypertext Markup Language. I have already talked about what markup language is. Hypertext is a fancy way of saying text, but it does have some meaning in that text document goes beyond simple text. I may have mentioned the hypertext protocol or HTTP. This is the method by which we exchange these HTML documents. We have a document on a particular computer and we want somebody in a browser on a different computer to be able to and view it. They need to use HTTP request the document and receive to it their browsers. I will mention the URI and URL interchangeably, and these are simple address. If you think about going into your browser and typing any website, or you go in and type in your favorite social network, that is an address or a universal resource identifier, a resource locator. When we talk about a single HTML document, there is a piece of that address that indicate the server where the document resides, the folders, and the name of the file. And we will talk about this, especially we talk about linking documents together, so that give us starting point to talk about HTML in more depth. Let's dive in and start looking at what makes up an HTML document.